Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel at MyWebUniversity is the channel handle. And I'll also teach you Linux basics in this video, which is Linux basic from zero to hero. I will promise you that on this video, by the end of the video, if you watch the entire video, you will learn everything that you need to know about Linux basics. And then with that in mind, you can go to the next chapter, which is my book online that I have it at mywebuniversity.com, that I'll make at chapter 3, the intermediate level. At this time, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Linux basics. So stay tuned, please. If you're beginners, don't worry. I'll start very fresh from A to Z on Linux basics. You will learn everything you need to know. In fact, I'll teach you online at mywebuniversity.com so you can practice the 33 commands that I'm going to show you today. And at the same time, I will also demonstrate on Linux Ubuntu. I will demonstrate it on Linux Red Hat, and if time allows it, I will also demonstrate it on Linux Rocky version. So at least 3 different Linux platforms and on the browser as well. So my name is Wahid Lutfi. I'm your host, and I'll be teaching you these courses online at mywebuniversity.com, which is online everything, including my book, and also the MyWebUniversity YouTube channel in English, as well as I have another one that I just posted, this one in 4C, and then this one is saying the same thing that we were reading it. آموزش مقدماتی لینکس در یک ویدیو به صورت آنلاین و رایگان برای شما فصل دوم دستورات پایه یونکس و لینکس. So this is basically this topic. The topic on the top is a little bit different because I want to just make sure that you understand the Linux basics. And if you're at the 0 level, no worry, and I'll get you by the end of the video to hero level, and you will be proud of yourself. At the same time, chapter 2 is all online on mywebuniversity.com, so I'll demo that as well. And you are welcome to join our channel both at MyWebUniversity channel, which is the English version, and one MyWebUniversity-Dari. They're both on YouTube, and then that one is in 4C. And again, those are 2 channels that I have in English as well as 4C. And my name is Wahid Lutfi. That's me. So let me just go to mywebuniversity.com here, which is a secure website, as you can see from the 2 private key, public key, HTTPS, and hypertext transfer protocol, secure. This is just a secure page. So you can see here, I have a lot of resources available, including videos on YouTube. That is the channel that I just was telling you that right now I'm making videos. There's more than 2K of videos, more than 2,000 videos. You're welcome to watch and subscribe and learn from them. If you go, for example, on the videos, you could see the list of videos that are already available in a lot of topics: operating system, databases, networking, programming languages, DevOps, all of that. And if you look at the popular videos, for example, some of the popular videos, Red Hat Linux Enterprise version 9. Version 9 is the current version, and their version 8 is still supported on most of the production servers in companies that they run Red Hat. There's also open version of it, open source of Rocky and Linux, that is a replacement for CentOS operating system. CentOS was the community enterprise edition of operating system. Rocky, after version 7 and 8, Rocky replaced it, and Rocky is still available. And this one was also release 9, Rocky Enterprise Linux 9, and then Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. These videos are teaching you from 0 to hero. And if you learn a Solaris operating system, which is Unix, you can also watch this video. And then if you need PDF technical documentation, there are courses, videos there. As well as I have taught advanced courses here and there. and the university levels, shell scripting and all programming languages, Python, C, C++. This is like a 6 hours video from zero to hero on Linux Ubuntu. So you're welcome to watch all of these videos and then subscribe to our channel. And if you're speaking for C, which is Dari, my own language that I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan, I was raised up till high school, and after high school, I had to leave the country because of Russian invasion of Afghanistan at that time, and then they left 10 years ago. But by that time, I was already in the United States studying computer science in City College of New York. So right here, you can see all of the courses that I'm showing you on Farsi as well. And one that yesterday I posted was one of these videos that I could go here and say, reload. Let me just make sure that the last one shows up here. Yeah, this one is the one that I just made last night. And then this one is related to videos about this subject. So as my time allows on my weekends and holidays, I make these videos for you. And today is Sunday, and I'm making this video for you in English, and it will be posted under MyWebUniversity. To get started, let's just go back to chapter 2, which is my Web University. So you come in on mywebuniversity.com, then click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. The direct path to Linux Ubuntu is my online book that you can see. There's 15 chapters altogether. In last video, I think I made chapter 15 for you, which is an interface that you actually have option to allow Linux commands that you could do. For example, if you say, show me print working directory, and it will tell you that one. If you say, give me the uname-a, the host name information, it will tell you. If you say cat -n etc os-release, and then you will see the os-release, we're running Ubuntu 24.02 and everything. So then if you say, let's just make this course topic on the PowerPoint presentation that I said, 0 to hero free course. You could just say something like this, Piglet -f font, and then say big, and then for the word, say 0 to hero, and then free course. You could say free full course or anything, and you see here it says that free courses. So here, if I want to just add the free full course, I could update the query string. I know my coding, so I know that I can just update it accordingly. I don't have to cut and paste that, right? So you could do that one. But at the same time, I am going to take you to chapter 2, where I have everything in order for you to know from very basics. So on my book, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu, this is an online book that I wrote so you can practice Linux on a browser. You don't need anything like installing Docker or virtual machine or VM or containerization or Amazon Web Services, none of that. All you need is just a browser. You just come in on the browser on mywebuniversity.com main page, and then you click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. Once you click here, then everything is all in front of you. You just click on the chapter that you want. For example, if you're learning chapter 2, the basic of Unix, which is this video, you click here. If you're learning intermediate, you will click here. And you're doing chapter 4, advanced level, you click here. Chapter 5 is shell scripting, and so on. And then there's a lot of technical, thousands of technical documentation on Linux Ubuntu, Linux, Rocky Linux, Red Hat. So if you're interested on Ubuntu, you just click here. There's thousands of technical documentation, and I've made it for you on PDF format, putting it on my website. So if you're looking for the example on PWDX, command right here, you click in print working directory of executable, and I just gave you the manual pages for it in PDF format. Similarly, if you're looking for a programming language like Python, you could just search for Python, and then since there's a money version of Python, you have to look for the version that you want, and you click next, next, till you look for the version you do. Like for example, Python 3.10, you could just look at it and then read the PDF file. Some of them are bigger than 1 page or 2 page. So like, let's say on Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu, which was chapter 8, I believe, yeah. Right here, if you just search for Control F and say search for GCC, for GNU C collection compiler, you can see there's a lot of them, one of 34. So the one that you want, like for example, GCC 11, you click on it here, and then you get that one. Notice it is 576 pages. So there's no more need for you to buy books for all this technical documentation. Developers on the internet since 1969, when Unix was invented at Bell Laboratory by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, they wrote these kind of vim and sed and awk and grep and egrep and all of those ones. At the same time, they wrote the manual pages for it. And then when Linus Torvalds wrote the Linux version back in 91, 92s, at that time, a lot of open source community, they wrote more kind of manual pages. So all those manual pages available, whether you're looking for Rocky version or Red Hat version or Ubuntu version or Red Hat version I mentioned. So I made it for so many versions of it, Unix shell scripting also. So like right here, you can see the Red Hat version. I think I did provide you the Red Hat already. Maybe you could just click on one of them and you can see here, I gave credit for Red Hat because the manual pages were in text that I had to convert it in PDF like this. And then I gave credit to MyWebUniversity, which is my website, hosting it, and then as well as Python programming language that I used, and also free PDF library module that I just did it. So this is the credit given. At the same time, every open source, they may have a license at the bottom of it. So I preserve the license as well. It's open source, so you can share it with others. You don't have to do it. And at the same time, like for example, dynamic generation on the chapter 12, if you need any documentation for anything that is on my machine, on my MyWebUniversity Linux platform that is installed, you could just click on it. So like for example, ZSH, the Z shell, you could just get the manual pages. It's 5 pages, but then you could do Control F here and type in HTTPS. So everywhere that is zsh.org website, you could just refer to that one, and you could just get the technical documentation. So like right here, I just went to the main page and then click on manual, and now there's PDF version, European PDF on the United States, and then that's 555. This is all ZSH. So it is not just ZSH or anything, it is everything that you need to know. Let's say you're doing a Go-build, programming, understanding Go language. You just come in here and then look for, again, and this is 3 pages, but if you do Control F HTTPS, then everywhere that this Golang is used as URL, it will list it, and now I'm on the Golang website. So the entire internet is at your fingertips. What does that mean? Is that now you can go on the docs and say, give me the user manuals on this one, get started, and then everything is at just a fingertips, right? You click and you start learning. You say, well, this is great. I learned everything that I need to know about Go language. Can I do the same thing with Python? Yes, you can. Just go on Python here and then say, okay, Python, and I just generated python.pdf from technical documentation. So everything that you type in here, you just click on it. Like for example, I just click on Python, you go here and then Python is there. At the same time, you say, go to HTTPS. Now you see python.org, python.org, py.org, and so on. A lot of them, you just go here and then hundreds of other thousands of technical millions of it is available, including the downloads pages. So you can download the software and then go to documentation, and under the documentation for every version that it's supported, there's tutorials, there's libraries, you can practice them. And like for example, if you want to create a list, here's how you create a squares, and how you populate the data, how you reference every indices. All of that one I have already taught you, less tuples, dictionaries, and object-oriented programming on these videos on Python. And I'll make more videos as I see more people are subscribing or more people are interested. Your job is to help me support, maintain this one. If I'm right now paying for the internet, paying for the website, paying for storage, paying for everything in order to make these courses available for free. And then if you just say, I like to learn Ruby, just come in on my website, search for Ruby, then I give you everything you need to know about Ruby. So here the documentation 7-page, again, here HTTPS, search for the GitHub Ruby version or just ruby-lang.org, and then right here you're at Ruby web page. See that? It's so neat. I mean, there's so much availability of everything. You can go to the documentation. You want to learn Node.js, just type in Node here, and I generate you the Node.pdf. The Node.pdf has only 12 pages, but if you do Control F again and search for HTTPS, then this one is going to take you to 9 of the URLs that are referenced with HTTPS. And one of them is nodejs.org. So you just go there and you can just go learn it. At the same time, if you go to menu here, then click on the docs. Now you're on the nodejs.org. You want to learn all these modules, HTTP module, HTTPS modules, all these methods, functions are available with Node.js. OS modules, all of these functions are available. Hostname, how to get the hostname information. And once you understand them, you could just open a terminal and then practice it on that platform. For example, let's say for Windows platform, let's say here, I already logged in on Linux Ubuntu, right? So here I have cat-n etc os-release, and you can see here, I'm logged on 24. So if I want to see the Python version, that version, it will tell me this. Node -- version, it will tell me this. Which Python, it tells me that the binary is installed there. And file user bin Python, you can see that is symbolic link to Python 3, and Python 3 is the actual file that is symbolic link to Python 3.12, and then 3.12 is the version, and that one is 64-bit. So if I just want to get that one and say which Python 3.12, because the other one were there, file user bin Python 3.12, then you can see that's executable link format, 64-bit. And if I just type in Python, because the symbolic link is there, I don't have to type in Python 3.12. I could do that one and exit out of this one. And I could also do this and it will do that one, exit out. So any of these commands that are there, I'm going to show you a number of ways. So for example, if we say which node, and then when node is there, file user bin node, that is an executable link format. It's not symbolic link. So I could say node, and then it takes me to node. And then right here, I could just write in, for example, os.hostname as a method, and you could get the host name. Earlier, I did that one. Similarly, if I just say os.cpu info, CPUs, give me the CPU information. And then os.user info, user information, and then os.platform. And then the platform is a method, so as a function, you have to type in like that to get the platform. And then everything that you do here, .exit out, you can exit out here, clear the screen here. Notice here, I say host name, I get the same thing. And then uname -s give me the Linux, which was the platform. And if I say, is it uname -m for machine type, you could get it. Uname -x for that machine type -p for platform. And then uname -o for operating system and GNU Linux. Uname -r is going to give you the revision. And then if you say uname A, I'll give you everything. So a number of ways you can do this one. And then some of the commands, like you could get it, you could also get it from Python, similar to Node we did. So like, for example, if I want to just say host name here and pwd, and then id-u a dash a, and then id dash un. So and then group name is also that, and then my group is 1000 and my user ID is also 1000. If I want to get that same information from Python, all I have to do is say go to Python and then import OS, and then os.system. There's a method on the operating system. You just type in the command you want to do. Like, for example, host name here, and it's going to just give me the host name. Similarly, if I want to do pwd, pwd. But if I want to do more than one command, you could do id-a, and then also semicolon id group name. Just to show you, id-a give you this one, and then id this. And if I just want to say, go ahead, clear the screen here. The command is clear, and now I have that command. So here I could say, give me this information, say, run the date, and that double ampersand is and, do the calendar. So the date is showing here is on the top, and then the calendar is going to do the current month. So inside here, you could do that one, or quit out of Python, or exit out of Python. You could say date and calendar. So it is exactly this, but that one was an operating system module in a function calls, which we call it RPC, and function programming, remote procedure calls. In an object-oriented methodology is called remote method invocation. So this is Python. Python supports both object-oriented as well as functional programming. If you call it in terms of the functional programming, you're saying it was a remote procedure call, and then a function that is called on the remote site. But a remote method identification, a function is called a method in object-oriented, call is called invoke. That's why, and then the remote is remote. There's some terminologies like attributes versus variables, and methods versus functions. All of those ones I have explained on other classes when I provided you object-oriented style of programming versus functional. But let's get to the rest of the class and start showing you one by one the list of commands. So if I want to show you this one on multiple platforms, I have already brought up a Red Hat version. So I'm going to log in here to my Red Hat Enterprise Linux virtual machine, and I'm going to type in the password here. So now I will have a login on this page. Sorry, the password was incorrect. So let me try it again. This time is correct. Notice that the virtual machine on Red Hat, it just shows the desktop, which I chose the version 9, because that course that I taught a long time ago was from 0 to hero on Red Hat 4 hours. And a lot of people love that one. And please watch that one if you're on Red Hat platforms. There's a lot of good in that 4 hours video. I explain a lot of them. Some user actually said 4 hours, 20 minutes or 12 minutes is not easy to just do it, but you made it so good. And I appreciate that comments. Thank you so much. So let me just do this one. On the activity, I go here on the activity. Notice when you click on the activity here, the options comes in. If I want to see the whole applications, I click on this apps there. And if I see the help, I click here. If I see the software, I click here. File manager, like Windows Explorer kind of things, this. And then Firefox here. Terminal is my friend. That's the one that I have been using it on Unix platform and Windows, on Windows command prompt and PowerShell terminal, and then Linux also terminal. So here, this is my $echo $PS1 from shell 1. And this one is coming from my .bash or C. So, but basically it says that /u means the user. The user is a Wahid. And /@ is this @ symbol right here. And then /h means the algorithm, the host name. And then /w is the working directory, and then $prompt is the prompt. So if I just say ID that in lowercase, Unix is and Linux is case sensitive. So it's not like Windows. Windows is not case sensitive. And then Linux and Unix, Mac stuff, or all of them are based on the Unix. Mac OS is based on BSD version of Berkeley. So it is also case sensitive. So ID-U -A gives me everything that is there. But if I say ID-UN give me a name, you notice that this one is giving me that Wahid. And then the host name, you can see if I type in host name, it says algorithm. That's there. The tilde is saying that I'm on my current directory. And this current directory is basically home PWD. So if I go to a directory like desktop, and then I change the directory, notice this one, it is showing desktop. And right here, it says that the echo $PS1 is still those kind of syntax saying that this is how it is there, but /working directory is now the desktop. So I change to the directory. As soon as I do cd to ... meaning that go back to the my parent directory, this ... means take me one directory up. So if I say pwd here, you can see I'm on this one, and then right here is saying tilde. The reason it says tilde, if I say go to desktop, this is very important to notice, okay? So now I do cd desktop, now I'm on desktop, but if I say just press cd by itself without the ... saying that take me to my home directory, whatever is my $home is pointing to, take me to do that one. Now I'm back to the tilde, which is the home directory of my current user, okay? So if I just continue on this one so you can see the two screens. Now, if I say echo $pwd, that is saying my current working directory is this. Now, if I say echo $home, that's also showing home Wahid. My default shell is also dependent on this. Get end password Wahid. Then you can see my default shell is home Wahid, but my default, my default home is home Wahid, and my default shell is Ben Bash. So my $home will never change based on this, but my $pwd, it depends on where I go next. So if I go back to the desktop, and then I say echo $home, it still shows home Wahid. But if I say echo $pwd, it says home Wahid. So current directory, pwd, and $PWD environment variable or pointing to the same location. The output of PWD and the output of PWD and $ are the same. However, $ or home, it doesn't matter where I go. So if I go to the root directory here, now I type in, I'm on the root directory, and notice that PWD was that, and then echo $PWD is also there. But echo $home is still /home wahid. And that's because my default home is set to this. If I want to see my shell, some users, they say, how do I know what shell I'm using? I'm logged on here. So the way you could tell is if you just close this one and just open another terminal and just say open a terminal by clicking here and selecting the terminal. Let me click on the terminal. So right here, as soon as I log in and I say, okay, what is my shell? If I just say PS by itself, and then it says, oh, your shell is bash. Echo $, and $, it is pointing to this process ID, 3424. And then right there, you can tell that I'm on the bash there. If I just say, go ahead to ZSH, to Z shell, it's not there, installed there. I could install it, but let me just show you the bash first. I'm gonna go to another shell, which ZSH is not there. I have to install it, and then which SH is there. So every system comes out with born shell, which is user bin SH. And then there's a bash born again shell, and there's also kernel shell. And so kernel shell is not installed on this one. So when Red Hat wanted to install this machine, by default, they come up with born shell and bash and there. But also maybe have C shell, it's not there, which C shell is not there, true C shell is not there either. So I could install some of them by becoming root and then doing it. So I could do sudo su dash. I don't want to just keep typing sudo in front of my command. I type in one time sudo, and then I get to become root. So let me just become root here. And notice here, if I say get end password root, I get a /bin bash. At the same time, if I say this $ID dash UN username, which would be showing root also, I could also do a backtick on it, backtick ID dash UN. That would all give the same output. However, if I just do this one, hard code of this one for W Lutfi or Wahid, my user ID, it will give me Wahid. So whichever user you want, you could type in that user, or if you're logged on as root, you could just also do that one with a different syntax. So I could switch also to Wahid here. And then since I'm root, I have a higher privilege. I did switch user. This one, some people, when they teach Linux, is kind of not a good idea to teach Linux and they say super user. This is not super user. Please correct yourself when you make these videos. And it's not a big deal to say super user, but you're just teaching somebody and they are going to copy from you. And it's better to just say switch user, because I could switch to a user. Like I just showed you that I was root and I switched user to Wahid. If you do a switch user to another user, that user is not power user or root. That is not to say I did a super user dash Wahid. That doesn't make sense, right? So just correct yourself on that one, please. And then this one, I exit out. Now I'm back on the root. I do su and then I could see that the command. I type in ID-UN in there. If I want to get all the detail of it, ID-A, it will give me that. But then I wanted to show you one thing here about and the part that I was telling you in terms of echo $ PS1. So this PS1, you can see here, the /u is going to say ID-UN. And then host name is the cell algorithm, at is at, and PWD is the current working directory. So get end password root, you can see that, sorry, let me just go back to echo $PS1. Okay, so ID-UN, you can see it's a root, and then host name, it is algorithm, and then you can see PWD is root. But if I say get end password, and then the user root, you can see here the /home, in this case is root. And then shell is bash. So if I say PS, it says bash. That was originally done. I could say echo $shell. That's also showing Ben bash, and echo $0 also showing that is bash. That's how you know that is there. So if I just have another shell sh here, and then now I type in PS, notice that I was bash and I switched to sh. So now if I say, okay, what is echo $$ pointing to? This one is going to have a value of this at 3641, because currently I'm using Bourne shell. So the syntax of what I'm typing here has to be Bourne shell. So if I just do, for example, export x is equal 1, and then do echo $x, it is going to just give me the value. Export name is equal Wahid, and then echo $ name, and then it's going to say Wahid. But notice that I exit out of this one. Now I'm on PS, I'm back on bash. The Bourne shell is gone. Now if I say echo $x, it is not defined because I did it on the Bourne shell. Echo and $Wahid, it is not defined. That means that shell, the environment variable that I exported, is no longer available because I exited out of that one. And if I just open another shell and say PS, notice that this time I get a different process ID for the Bourne shell, and that's a new one. So if I say echo $x, that value is no longer there either. And echo $name, it's not there. For that session, it was there. If I want to keep it persistent, that means I have to put it on my bash or C file. So for each shell that you are doing it, usually if depending on who or the user, you could just control it on your .bash or C here. This file is for root. Bash meaning that this root is the default shell is bash, or C run control. So if I just want to say at this time, show me all my aliases, there's no alias here. But if I say vim bash or C, and then just add an alias at somewhere here, I actually have some aliases here. So you can see I'm going to add one more alias here. Say alias C is equal clear command. So every time I type in C, it should clear the screen. I could do that clear screen on the command line also. So watch this one. If I say alias C is equal clear, then now say alias C, and it says C is defined as clear. So if I do a clear, it's going to clear my screen. But if I just type in alias, that is the only alias that I have defined, because I have not sourced the .bash or C. So if I go here and say this bash or C is there, now an alias C, if I type in C, it's nothing defined, because alias, I don't have anything. But now if I say source .bash or C, And oh, the not source, because I'm on the PowerShell. I think I am still on PowerShell. Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna exit out of this one. I could say dot bash rc. Let's see. File not found. Let me just see why it is that, because I'm on that directory dot bash rc, and then dot okay, so that is not executable, but I could say like bash -x dot bash rc, and that will run all of them. Now I run alias, it is not there. That bash -x did it, but let me just exit out of this one. Now I'm on a main bash. Inside bash here, if I just say alias, and all the stuff, my alias are showing. Why? Because that bash itself, I have a dot bash rc here. So this one, whenever you exit out of it, automatically it becomes that bash rc for that user it runs. So how does it run? You could source it also. You could exit out of here and then say id-u, and now I'm Wahid, right? So PS of this one I'm bash, but do I have a .bash rc? Yes, I do. So do I have any alias on that file? You could do grep -i alias on that bash rc, and then I have no aliases maybe. So I say, yeah, I do have aliases. So why didn't grep -i didn't find it? Because you have to put this one within double quote or single quote, because alias is itself a command. You cannot do grep -i, a command name, and then user defined aliases. So more and dot bash rc. Let's see, them dot bash rc, and then say alias. Yeah, so alias is, that's the only line that was matching, but notice that bash rc runs other etc bash rc, and if that exists, that one may have the aliases. So that's why when you type in alias here, etc bash rc, that file grep -i, and then alias etc bash rc, and then that will also do that one. So which alias there, and then this is a list of them available for me. Okay, let me just check on something here. So inside here, if I just source my bash rc, my alias are already there, and I could just create a new alias, say alias p is equal Python, and now I type in Python dash version. I get the alias p is there, and alias p, and then now p dash version will not return anything, but alias all my aliases, and you can see it is not on my bash rc script. So if I want to just define it, I could just add that one, and then also the clear screen to make it permanent. So if I'd say them and dot bash rc, here at the bottom, I could just add a list of aliases, say alias c is equal, and then run the clear command, and then alias p is equal, run for Python. Obviously, you could make it one letter longer, because the name is so kind of hard to just remember. P was for Python or for print or something, so you just have to remember. But I'm just doing a demo here, and for Node, and then say node dash version. So if I want to get all to the node version and then Python dash dash version and then clear command will do that one. I could save this one in the .bash RC now and do a grep -i alias .bash RC. You can see I have those lines defined there. So inside there, but the reason that other aliases are coming from etc profile or etc bash or C and other ones. So grep -i. Now one more time, I'm going to check for alias on these files, etc bash rc and bash rc, or you can see profile, or etc not etc dot bash rc. So these three files, you can see my clear commands are just basically added here, but in addition, under profile, there were other functions and string that are used there. So let's just say, if I say p here, it's not defined, but if I say source.bash rc, now I source it, now I say p, it's going to give me the version. N gave me the version. So N is inaccurate version. I mistyped it, that's why. So I'm going to just say aliases, and then here I have all of them. I'm gonna vim.bash rc again, and then for the version here, I type in version correctly and save it. Clear screen, and then say source.bash rc. Resource it, now aliases are accurate. So if I say P for Python version, N for Node.js version, and I could also type in Python dash dash version to get the Python 3.9 or Node dash dash version. That's the binary already there. But the shorter form that I create alias, I say this. Now, if I say clear the screen for me, I could type in clear or I type in C for alias, because I have these aliases and C is one of them. So this is how you create aliases. This is on chapter 3 of my book, but I just demo a lot of them here to help you out. And I'm going to just go back to my website, and then I will cover a lot more with the website as well. And so now let's go back to my website here, and we just say MyWebUniversity.com. This one, when you come in, click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. Then after that one, my 15 chapters of the online book is available. Then click on chapter 2, which is teaching you about 33 commands here that are basics commands. And then I have videos on them. God bless my brother. He was such a noble person. He was a cardiology at Kaiser for 50 years, a surgeon. And then God bless him. In 2021, he passed away in January. He's in heaven. And then he made me, inspired me in my life, and made me to work so hard. And I just dedicated this book, online book, for free to support humanity. And I hope you all pray for him in heaven. And they're all in best place. So the documentation that I have here is going to help you a lot. Here you can just come in and get thousands of documentation. For example, in PowerShell, you can learn the entire PowerShell, and you just practice here. Say get dash process, and it's just there. PDF files. Similarly, get dash service, you just type in Control F and get dash service. Service, get dash service. I think I'm typing it wrong, or maybe it is get dash service. Oh yeah, I found it already somewhere. It is one of them. Why I don't see it on the screen? Yeah, right here. I didn't press enter, that's why. So get dash service is there. And then let's say you're looking for get dash command, and then you could get that one. And right here, you get dash command. So why am I showing you all of this one? Because in one video, I want to make sure that you get introduced to DevOps kind of work for you. So you're not only understanding the basic, you can jump in on the advanced, intermediate, and then technical documentation, and learn so many other things, PowerShell, Python, and other ones. So if you're on a PowerShell terminal here, you could just run like git dash process, and you will get all the processes there. And if you want to say, give me the git dash process and then laugh out loud cut utility to give me in a color, you could do that one. Or if you don't have the laugh out loud cut utility installed or the module installed, you could just say out dash rainbow. That is equivalent to the on out dash rainbow. A little bit it's parsed inaccurately. I reported that one into Microsoft for a bug to say that out dash rainbow on the git dash process doesn't work, but for other ones it does. For other commands it doesn't give you that kind of things. So if you say show me a tree level, you can see everything works fine with colors. And then the same thing if you say git dash host. Okay, git dash host was the actual issue. Git dash process and then git dash service, and then give you all the services there. So on PowerShell, you can learn a lot of them. You can also say git help git dash process like this, and then you will see the process, and then you could say show me by examples and say examples. And then you will see it with examples, or you say dash dash online to open it on a browser for you, so you could read it online and then interact with it that way too. There's a lot of neat stuff. I have done these ones for you on my website and teaching you online. So stay tuned with that one, but at the same time, and go to chapter 2, and let's get started with the first command of this. On this chapter, each one of these ones, I said, learn the basic of Linux and Unix, because all of these commands also work on a Unix operating system. Maybe the banner, you have to install the utility even on Ubuntu or other ones. But if it is not on Ubuntu, it comes in, but maybe on Rocky or Linux, you have to do a DNF install and then find the right package name and then install it. But on the app that are installed, you can use them. And if it is banner is not available, you might use Figlet, which is an open source. And I just showed you that it is running on Ubuntu as well as other ones. So let's get to show you what this table is going to help you. If you're on MyWebUniversity.com, you can come and practice it online. You don't need a Linux machine. And you don't need a Docker or virtualization or containerization or anything. Just use a browser, and then I teach you Linux on a browser. In fact, I made a DNS name recently called linuxonbrowser.com, which when you go there, automatically I redirect you to my website, mywebuniversity.com. So I'm teaching you Linux on a browser by just doing this one. And yes, I pay for a lot of these things, and I might not be able to pay for it for free and for every time, but I'm providing you everything for free. I know that a lot of students, they cannot afford it to go to expensive college tuitions or expensive boot camps. So if you're learning DevOps, just come and watch this video, IT and DevOps masterclass. I show you a lot of stuff there, including programming languages and IDEs like Visual Studio Code and other stuff. Python, C, C++, Linux, and PowerShell, and so on. So let's go back to chapter 2 here, and I'll show you the first one. The first one we are going to talk about is the banner command. And in order to use the banner command, you just type in banner followed by the argument that you want to type in. Like banner peace for all. This time we definitely need peace for everybody on Earth. And so please support peace. War is never going to help anybody. War is the most sad things and the hard thing for everybody's life. No matter how strong you think you are, God is more stronger than you. Don't just hurt human beings for no reason. Just because you want to dominate something for bigger, it is God will be against you. You don't want to hurt human beings for just sake of growing yourself and hurting everybody else. So peace for all is the most important thing that we all should support. And then here's peace for all. And then an example here, we're saying banner hello world. We just say hello world, and then it just says that one. Whatever message you type in. And then here I wrote, I love to play football, and banner, it just displayed that. But this is not just a graphic page that is a screenshot. You can actually practice it online on MyWebUniversity on a browser. So you're on your browser, you click on banner A, and I type in A. This was your command that you clicked at the prompt, and then you get the output. And this was the video that I just showed you, DevOps courses. I made another video in 2026. Happy New Year for everybody. And this is the same thing. So here you can also come in on the query string and add up information, or just change it and then cut and paste this one and give it to somebody, like happy birthday, for example. And you could say happy birthday. And then now 2006, happy birthday. If you don't want to say something like happy this, and instead of 2006, you can just say happy birthday plus let's say you tell somebody that is his name is Wahid. I don't want to just get a number of something. So if we just say Wahid, happy birthday Wahid, it just says happy birthday Wahid. That's it. You just cut and paste this one to an email, and then send that person kind of like an invitation to read it. And as soon as they click on it, on the URL, they get that one. If you decide to just change this one to Mortaza, then it will just do that. Okay, so you change that one to anything. Let me just change it to my lovely daughter name, Sadaf, and then it will just say. So now I give you my son name, my daughter name. You're welcome to just send them happy birthday or best wishes. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. Here, what we could do is these messages that you're sending is all for banner. So you could write all kind of customized banner. For example, I say, thanks for watching. When you're watching this video, I could say, thank you for watching, and you could see that one just there. Or please join our channel. I hope you all joined. So far, nobody has joined on my channel. It is kind of embarrassing to make 2,000 videos and nobody's interested to join. At least subscribe or click on the like or something to support our channel, please. And I bet you for this Linux Red Hat courses or Ubuntu, other ones, if you look on the internet, you don't find these kind of details and explanation, and the whole thing is integrated with my website. I have documentation for it, and I explain it, and I have taught classes at the university level for both Unix, C++, C++, Python, PowerShell, Oracle database. So I know what I'm covering, and I can speak really fast on it or speak really slow, and understand that that you need to learn it, and I will help you out if you just join in and ask for these kind of questions. So let's say you understand that this example, you say, I want to learn that technical documentation that are manual pages. But because you're not in front of a Linux machine, I made it available for you on my website. So you click on this documentation banner PDF. In my program, PowerShell, a Python program, it just read this argument banner, and then it generate you a PDF version of it right here on the fly. Very fast. If you say, show me an HTML, there's also documentation on the banner here, an HTML version of it. And here, this one, you could also go say, give me the date PDF documentation. It will, I mean, HTML or calendar, any command that you know on Linux, you just get it. Let's say you say Python. You could get that manual pages. So that is there. In addition, I showed you the PDF. The PDF version also, if you say, I want to just look for something else. Remember, I showed you this interface earlier. You could say, give me the printf command in PDF. And I just generate you the printf PDF documentation. And then you say, what about I get that documentation on a programming language like Perl? You could just type in Perl here, and I just generate you Perl PDF documentation. But this is 7-page again. You might just say, well, all of these are great, but can I just see the URLs that are referenced here? Yes, you can search for HTTPS or just type in and that, and then you get to Perl website and documentation. Click on the docs, and then every documentation, and that's on, that one is on the internet available for you. You can see access them, and go to CPAN, and then you will get that. So the entire internet is at your fingertips, and that's what Linux on browser makes it possible, all the resources. So if I go back to chapter 2, we covered banner. I'm going to cover cal command. Cal command for calendar. So calendar, if you click on it, say it should display the calendars. Yes, that's cal, and it's right here as output for the current month. And it says that what is cal? It says display a calendar. So I'm on a Linux machine, for example, and then I say, let me exit out of this one. I'm on here. I could say cal here, that shows that. And cal, show me in colors, you could do that. Every time you run, the different output shows up. Okay, so calendar there. And then you can see that these other options like calendar minus A2. If you want the entire year, calendar 9070, it's going to show you that. And if you want it like, for example, calendar 1, which I don't have it on the list, you could say January 1st, 1970, you add it in the query string, and I just generate you based on your syntax. You have to type in the syntax correctly. These pluses are equivalent to spaces. So the query string get parsed by my program, Linux command.cgi, and then the output is on your browser at your fingertips. And then you get the output there. If you just say, can I just get that one for 2027 to find out what date is the new year, you could just type in that, and then you get a Friday is next year is the new year. So you could get very useful information here. If you just say, and instead of this one, give me the date command, and then you will see dynamically generated the date. And notice that it's 3/36/17. This 17, if I rerun it, it's going to just change, and that is 29 now. Every time you click on, the second changes 33, depending on how fast you click on it. So it is running dynamically. At the same time, if you say, show me the PWD, and show me the who's logged on, and then show me the W, show me W, and then show me df /h. All of these commands, I allow you to run it. So coming back to chapter 2, I'll show you some of the command that I just showed you, a quick way to look at them. So like right here, you could see on chapter 2, you could say, okay, I showed you who, W, and then date, and then calendar, and then some other ones, host name, we could do ID and so on. So if you want to say calendar, more option, like for example, calendar minus A2, means 2 months after the current month. So the current month is March, 2 months after is May, April and May. And if you say 5 months after the current month, then March until August. And then if you say, give me 2 months before March, it is January, February. And if you say, give me 5 months before March, that's uppercase B means before, and uppercase A means after. So that's the flag. And if you say, well, this is good, that I like to know it, but can I read the cal? Yeah, just go onto PDF documentation and then read the PDF, and then right here, all the flags with minus B and minus A and all of that other flags are defined here. And it's also important to know on the see also section for them, and so you could learn further. And then there's also HTML version of it. And if you want a Julian format, minus J, and then it's give you a J format. If you say, give me the entire 2026 in Julian format, you can see that will give you entire 2026. So you can practice a lot here. And that's why I say Linux on the browser. You come in on my site and I provide you everything you need to know to practice Linux. Here, if you click on the cat command, cat stands for concatenation. Cat concatenate the content of a file or more files, one or more files. You can also create files with cat. You can also see the non-visible syntax of it, like minus EA, it shows you all the dollar sign at the end of the line breaker. If there's tabs, also will show, but this file doesn't have tabs. You can see here. And cat minus N will show you line numbers. N minus showing me line numbers. So this file has 13 lines. And then Linux Ubuntu 24.02 is there. So, and then these information, if you want to see two files together, you can do that on cat. First file and second file, you can do read both of them. You can put a minus N for them to see the two of them in line number, but notice that they were put all together as one file. So if you want to just do something like this, let me show you how the trick is that you can see each one of them separately. Because on my site, I just don't allow everybody to run all commands, including removing files or paging files or creating users. So I don't allow it, otherwise my site would not be up. They will hack it soon. So in order to do this one, exit out of this one, exit out of this, I think I have it right here. So if I just go here, say that etc os-release and etc networks, those two files are there. And if I do a minus N, then it shows those ones all together as, let me see the, permission denied. etc network, you have to have sudo root access. So if I just do this one and then right in front of them, I could say sudo. Then I provide the password. You can see here they're showing on two different files. So let me just do this. It still says permission denied, sudo sudash. Maybe I didn't type it correctly with password. So cat minus N etc os-release and etc networks. So now it says it's still not there, permission denied. ID-UN and etc networks. Networks. Okay, it is open, but for some reason, I could not read it with ampersand because of something else. Let me check. Yeah, it is reading it when you do it like this, and then say minus n etc. Actually, right here, minus n first, etc networks, and then n etc OS dash release. Okay, the second file, it is because of the and, it's not because of permission. Notice the permission was readable by everybody. So, and we could have read it with the other one, but because of this other one, and then, oh, I did not wrote the cat minus n option, that's why. That was my part, that I did not, lazy enough, I did not type in both of them in there. So here, this would have worked whether you put it in first or second, like cat minus n etc networks and cat minus n etc OS dash release. I already have that one above. Let me just write the other order. So etc OS dash release first, and cat minus n etc networks. This both of them comes in. Notice this one comes with line number 1 because I put a ampersand saying that if this one was successful, then also run this one. But if this file doesn't exist, let's say I type in something as a file that doesn't exist, like add another S. The first file doesn't exist, this ampersand and is not even gonna work. I have to change this one to a or. Say if that one is succeeded or not succeeded, it still give me the etc OS-release file. So this is a short circuit that's saying that this one, if it doesn't exist, this file was mistyped, then don't even run this command. So what is the difference between the short circuit and short circuit and other one? So if I say pwd here and say pwd and calendar, since both command works, print working directory and this, I could also do and date and then and host name. So a lot of the informations are going to be running. But then if I say, once you run the PWD or this one, now the rest of them is not gonna run except root and calendar. So this and is not gonna do it because the date is actually done. Sorry. This one was an OR statement, right? So if this command and the PWD, the first one, doesn't work, like PWD1, that command doesn't work, then the OR is going to just still run this calendar command and also the date and other ones. But if I just do this one with PWD this, and then say, let me just make that one fail. So if I just make one command fail, I'll show you a shorter version. It's easier to understand the difference. So clear screen, if I just do this one, PWD1 doesn't exist, but the calendar command executed. Now, if I just say n run the calendar, it's not going to execute anything. Both commands are not going to say calendar I wanted to install, but it is complaining, saying that command not found because you meant for PWD per working directory rather than PWD1. There's another command also called PWDX. So PWDX is a print working directory of executable. In this case, I say, if I say PS3, process stream 3.1, I'm on chapter 4 right now, showing you PS3. And then that one shows you system D processes. So And you can see here, if you do this with the color, the process stream 3, it says system D is started, and these are the child process. You can get more thread of them, and then which PWDX is what is PWDX is what is PWD. Notice PWD is giving you the current working directory, but PWDX is for a running process, a working process. So system D or anything. So if I say, what is my process ID of my main shell, which is bash, and if I just say PWDX of this main process, and then you could see here, it's started from root. If I exit out of this one and then I say PS, now PWDX $, that shows my process ID 71433, which is this one, and it comes from home Wahid. Okay, so this is how you trace them. There's also a strace command, $, it tells you that that process cannot be find strace. But if I just say run a top on the background, top, and then just run it on the background. Now PS minus EFA grep minus I top. Now top is running right here, this one, and this is the process ID for it. So now if I say go ahead PWDX of this top process, there it will just say this was a spin-off from home Wahid. But at the same time, if I say and instead of PWDX, I say strace on it minus P, that process. Notice that this is operation not permitted because I'm not root. But if I want to see as root, sudo assume sudo, then it's gonna just now if whatever on the top command that I do, it will just be showing here in terms of read and write. At this time, I'm not doing anything on the top. So if I just open another terminal, let me go here and then open up another terminal. Okay, so right here, I'm going to SSH to that machine again on the MyWebUniversity. So I say SSH minus L. It takes forever to just log in again. Wahid at 192.1. I forgot the IP address of it. So let's say, so the way you find out the IP address of it, say ping www.mywebuniversity.com, and then that's coming from that IP 27. Then I say SSH minus L Wahid, or you could just say ns lookup Wahid. www.mywebuniversity.com, name server lookup. So this is the public IP address, but I need on this case is the local IP address. So I say SSH minus L Wahid at that IP address, and then say not minus L in case. If I just don't have this one, a space minus L means something. But if I just wanted to get it with @ symbol, you don't put the -L. That's the difference between the two. Okay, so I'm going to type in the password, but while I'm looking for the password, just 1 second, I'm going to pause it. So now I logged in on the server again, and then this session, I told you that top is running. So here I could just trace it, say PS minus EF grep minus I top. And the top process that are coming here is this process ID. Let me just kill this process for now. Kill top would kill it, or I could say kill -9, and then this process ID number. That's forcing that process ID to die. And since I killed it on this screen, the top killed, now my S tray is detached there. But if I just want to do a trace on the PWD, this PWD trace PWD, you could see that all the system calls for that process ID that I did. If you just type in on the system, it just give you an output here. But if you want to trace it, this one is a level 4 advanced level. But I'm showing you because we are on that topic of how you could trace a program. So this binary is executed, and all the way at the right, it was writing to my terminal /home, and then close it, and then now I'm out of that one. So every command that you type in, if you say PS, that's output. But if you say strace PS, then it runs a lot of function calls and system calls before it actually give you the last output, which is that. And PS and all that process IDs and bash and strace and so on, right? So you can see that one. At the same time, if I say ls, now this is my directory there, but if I say strace ls, then you can see all the files that are there at the bottom. This is the directories there. This write function calls is doing it. I could also do a strace to only show me the right functions, but that will be another topic for the next session. So let's get back to this other screen. And I have been showing you everything here on Red Hat on this one. I also have a Red Hat virtual box here that is, Ubuntu virtual box that I need to log in here and show you that interface. So right here, you can see on this screen, I'm logged on here. So if I say clear screen, clear screen here, and I think the size is good enough for you. I'm gonna shrink it one size lower so I can see everything here. And then notice that on this one, this is the desktop right here, this one. So if I say CD to desktop, you can see I'm on desktop. Print working directory on the desktop. Change directory to desktop, now I'm on desktop. And if I just say ls-l, this is what this old Firefox is, that this one, right? So now if I want to remove this one, I just don't need this there on my desktop. I say rm-rf, or I could cd first to the dash old this, and then once I'm on that directory, I could see what is inside here. Do this one. I could say, oh, this is another default directory. So this, and then now I do this one. There's a lot here. Okay. So if I want to just delete all of them that I don't need it, I could do that one. But if I want to make a duplicate of them, I could do that one as well. So like right here, I could say ls-l. I could say copy -rp and dash old. This one as new. I just made a duplicate, and notice this new comment here, right? So this new comment, and I say, okay, that new is exactly the same. Can I do a def between new and old? And then they're saying common subdirectories, they're the same. If I want to say do a -r, means a difference between them -r, recursively, there's no differences. So I say, well, that's good. I'm going to get rid of this R and this. So how do I create? I created this new directory. I'm going to get rid of that new. I say, in order for me to delete the subdirectories, I could go to new and then do this one. And then I could say cd to A cd to A star and then tab. So now if I want to delete all of the files with SQLite, for example, I could say rm star.SQLite. And then now SQLites are gone. rm star, and that is everything is started with S. And then do rm -rf, everything. The directory, subdirectories are gone. Now I say, now this directory is there, remove directory A, and now that directory is not empty because it has some kind of hidden files. So go to A and then say ls minus LA. Notice that parent block is there. So if I could just remove the parent block and say rm dot parent block, and now I go back here and say rm dir A2, and that directory is gone. So I could come here and say new rm dir new, and that directory is gone. Notice it's gone. This time I say copy minus rp this old this as call it as new one. So now I just made this new one here. If I double click on it, obviously on the desktop, it will show all the directories here. But I don't need to just open it, and I don't need to work on it. All I need to do is show you copy and remove and other stuff, how you do it. So now a new directory is there. I say rm minus rf, new one. It's gone. Clear screen, and that's there. Now I want to just show you one more things. And so I said I did on this one we have only one directory, ls minus l. I'm going to say copy old tab and then say make it as new. And now new is there. Sorry, ls minus l new is there, or no? I did not make a copy. Copy and then oh, because it's a directory and you have to say minus r recursively to subdirectories also. It's not a file. So you have to say copy minus r, and then this will create it. But however, the permissions are not by default preserved. So I could say copy minus r and then put a p option to preserve the permission. And then right here, I could say new one. And so by default, the permission might be still the same. So if I say def minus r, new and new one, and then you can see there's no differences. Similarly with new one, new versus old, it's not the difference. However, it's safer to say if this files, some of the directory was not owned by Wahid and it was by root, you want to preserve it by the same permission, you just have to do it with that permission or another user rather than root. And if you're root, you could keep the preservation there. So I'm gonna just say, okay, this is done. Let's just remove minus rf new one. Okay, so now I'm going to say, this time I'm going to tar up the file, new. I'm going to say tar, and then I create it as cvf, create a verbose file, new.tar, and then new. I just backed up that file as new.tar. So now tar tvf, T for displaying it, v verbose file, new.tar, you will see the content that I have matched it there. So now if I say rm minus rf new, it is gone. Now I just extract it from the tar file, and the tar file is in size, new.tar is tar ganzip file, okay? So when you do file on it, it will show you that. And now tar xvf new.tar, you can see that I just extracted now new.tar is exactly there. So if I just say, okay, new is there, and then if I say def between minus r, new, and then old, and then I should not get any difference, and I don't, because what I had tar up there. So I don't need to preserve the new anymore. I could just remove it. But if I want to decide, say, okay, remove a new.tar, and look at the size of this one, file new.tar. It is there. I could say gunzip new.tar, and now it will compress it in a gunzip format. That file is in a gunzip format, file a new star. You can see it is compressed also. That's why the size is a little bit smaller than previously. the tar file. So we could have done the whole thing in one shot. Now, if I want to rm minus rf new, if I want to extract this one as the command, I have to say tar z for gun unzip it, x for extracting, v for host, new.tar.gunzip. That will extract it, and then I have the file there. So now if I say rm star.gunzip, in this case only one file, you want to just specify the file name. If it's only one file, it's safe. I've done these one for 100 years, 100 years, and maybe all my life, since I have been doing this thing, maybe at least 30 some years. So it is safe for me to do that one, but make sure if you're on sudo, watch your commands, don't type it fast and don't make mistakes. So new.tar.gunzip, I just have only one tar file. This time I will make that new.tar.gunzip in one shot. So you do this tar from that one and say tar z cvf. Z for creating the gunzip file, and C for creation, and V for verbose, F for file. So new.tar.gunzip from new. And we just created this time in a compressed file. You can see the size is smaller this time. But if I just do the same thing with tar and then cvf and new.tar only, no gunzip, then you can see the size of those two files are different. The tar ball, if I say disk usage minus sh, a star and new start, you can see that the first one is 82 meg, the tar is only 81 meg, but the tar gunzip file is even shorter than tar file. It's only 23 meg. So you can see the gunzip compression, that helps you a lot in there. So I'm going to remove new.tar, and then that would get rid of that one. And if I just rm minus rf new, that file is gone, clear screen. Now I just say, okay, how about I extract that tar gunzip file as new? Then I say tar z, you can put the order of x first, doesn't matter, z v f, and then new.tar.gunzip. It reads those flags as, okay, you want to extract it, it's there. Now the def of new with old is the same. Subdirectories are the same, and if you just type in with -r, saying recursively compare it, it says there's no difference. Echo $? 0, saying that the function returns successfully. And no failing. So if I do pwd echo $? Pwd and echo $? Successful. But if I type in something that command not found and say echo $? Then it says 127. It's not successful. Okay. So if you do two commands, pwd and calendar, both commands succeeded, then we say echo $? Also successful. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the browser and then cover more on the rest of the commands. We already show you PDF. Some of these ones, I'm not going to go on each one of them, click on it and open it. You're welcome to practice. That's your homework. So the next command is okay, cat. On this one, you can see here, it is there. I want to show you the option with the -e option on the browser. So like right here, I could show you on Red Hat. After this one, I will. This one is also for for Red Hat, and then I'll just spin off Rocky, shut down Red Hat here. So host name here. If I just say cat -n etc os-release, this one give me line number. But if I want to see some kind of end of line characters, I could say, and instead of -n, I could say, show me minus EA, and it will show the line numbers here. So if I just create a file, say vim test.txt, and say this is a new line, and then say this is a tab, and then tab, and then say a couple of tabs, and followed by new line, and then press new line here and say another new line and another new line, and say the above two new lines. And I just do those ones as saving. So like right here inside Vim, you could also set list, and you could see the tabs and delimiters. The tabs is Control I here. And then also the new lines are showing us $, end of line. So wherever I have end of line, if I just press another tab here, you see the $. Every time I just do like a tab, Control I. So now I go here, say save it. Now cat test.txt. Notice on a pure cat command, you will not see in those invisible character. Like I did the vim on vi set list, it will see it. But if I do here cat -e and test.txt, you can see that there's a new line character, but I don't see the tabs here, right? So in order to do the tab, I say -a also, and that would also show the control characters. A for all non-visible characters it will display. So this one has a flag there here. There's a lot of flags on it, so you man cat command is your friend to look at them and then read them, and there's also tag, which is the opposite of cat. So if you say what tag, reverse of cat is tag, so it reads, I'm sorry, what is tag, it says that nothing appropriate. Okay, so man tag is the concatenation and print files in reverse order. So like for example, the file that we had, there was test or something, test.txt, test.txt, and if I just read it, test.txt, if I say tag test.txt, it reads it reverse order. So from the bottom up, and then just the last line, which is the first line, is going to print it last. So that is another command that is not listed on the 33 commands that I do in there. And there's another command right now I'm going to do with sudo. I could also power off the machine here, log out, and then power off. That's one way. Another way you could do a sudo, and then say shutdown -h now, halt now. You could do that one and sudo, but it's better to not shut down, do sync a couple of times to make sure all the database and application are synced, and shut them gracefully, power off the database and other applications, and then do the sudo shutdown now, sh now. That one would be your last command after everything is down. But here you could also come and say log out, and then log out from the from the virtual box here. First you log out, and then when you log out, you get the users that you can log in again. You could also say power off, and then now I'm going to power off this one, and then the resources are enough that I can just spin off another VM and to bring it up. So while this one is down, if you look at my current machine, this one was just the one that we powered off. So I'm gonna start this one, and while this one is starting, I'll show you some more command. So this one, it takes a minute to start or something, and then when it is up, we will show you some interface there as well. and right here it says switch it, and then right there it's booting right now. That's a Rocky version of Linux, Rocky 9.2 version Enterprise Linux. Okay, so these are mouse integration, that's notification information. I don't need to just watch them, and then you can see it is going pretty fast. It is less than a minute or two, that maximum that it gives you a login prompt. But for now, I will just show you this other one on the browser. So on the browser, you saw the cat command, and then the clear command is simply just clear the screen. Tput clear is also the same, and the man PDF for there. So if you're just on a screen here, I already showed you if you do type in command, you do type in clear, it will just do that. And we already showed you the clear screen command and other ones with the alias of C. Date is also on the system. You can get the system date, and notice that it's 4/14 now. If I reload it, it's going to be 4/14/25, and every time you load it, that 25 changes dynamically. That means it's running dynamically. You can run the system date. Also, you can also practice date command here and type in date, or say date and then class, and say some sort of format of month and some dash percentage and day, then dash percentage year. And these ones are lowercase because you want it month followed by day, but year I wanted to have 2026. And then if I just didn't have a dash here, obviously it would be not formatted well. So you just put a dash there. If you change the dash to slashes, yeah, you have option to say that format is the one that you want to print. And if you say put hour and seconds, and then you can do it as well, that one. But make sure that you don't forget the percentage, as syntax is like that. And if you need the correct syntax of date command, you can also go to the date here and then read the examples, like some of these ones are different formats and time zones and everything. So man is your friend to just get that details here. Date command we covered. Echo is pretty simple. It's just whatever you write in front of it, it will display it on the screen, hello world, like that. And then you have a -E option to do new line characters and so on. And then echo peace, and then love and peace to all, and then man pages. So if I just go back to the thing, and now you see that already logged on here. So I will practice echo here. So here you could log in as Wahid Dullah, and then I'm logging in as Wahidullah. And once it is coming, notice that it is the interface a little bit different than Red Hat, but it is a Fedora distribution, so it is good. And then here I have these terminals as well on the activity. You click on the activity. Every time you click on, you have the software, the packages that are available, and then the terminal, similar to files and then software and everything else. You can do a software update from the command lines as well as other ones. So this one, the package manager, is like Red Hat. DNF is there. YAM was the old version. DNF list, it shows you all the packages that are on Rocky version. This is a list of all the packages that are currently installed on this machine, and I could do a word count on them. It looks like it's a lot to just display it, and it just I'm running it as regular user, and it is taking a little bit time. Subscription manager not updated. So the first time that you run this one, may just have to do this one because I haven't logged into the machine for a while. And so you can see it took a couple of seconds for that. And then if I just do a word count on it to see how many packages are there, you see that there's a lot. 33,570. And then on the user share man, this is all the packages that I provide you on the packages there. So man, and then say, if I do minus LR here, uppercase R, recursively subdirectories, and then I say do a word count minus L, then I could see that there's 14,328 pages. So for all of this one, if you're looking for a man pages of this one, you could do a grep minus I. Let's say for PWD, we could just say how many of them are for PWD on print working directory. And then here, if I just say, go ahead on man one and just, sorry, user share man and then man one. I think it is man and then man one. Yeah. So you can see here that pwd.1 is the for section 1 and then the other one. So when you do man minus S1 and pwd, it will just definitely give you section 1 of them. But if you don't have to type in, because the manual page is already formatted in that sense, says that this one is found under section 1. However, if you're looking for something like let's say on section 3, you're searching for PWD, it's not there. However, you say egrep, which means extended global regular expression minus print, either PWD or get current working directory. One of those ones are there, show me. So since I'm looking at man pages on that section, let me clear it a little bit. And you can see here, I'm doing on man pages 3, but notice get current working directory is there. At the same time, if I'm only interested on this one and .3, I could just search on this one, say, get current .3, and then that would just make it only for .3. Why is it showing more? Yeah, this pwd.3 is okay. So it is coming somehow with more. I'm gonna try this one. Say, give me all of them, but then on this one only .3.ganze. If it is there. And now we have more of PWD. Let's just get one of them first to say, okay, this is the only that. Then for PWD one dot this, I'm gonna just say PWD one ganze. So now we have exactly what you're looking for. Section get the current working directory is not in section 1. So if I do that one, I could just say, okay, do a pwd command and say man minus S1 and pwd will still give me that man minus S3 and get current working directory will give me that one. As well as if I just don't give it by default, because the default is get current working directory section 3. So that will give me that one. Notice the format of the colors on the browser is a little bit like not as good as Ubuntu. Let me show you the difference on that one. So if I go back here on Ubuntu, and then right here, let me just get to the current directory and I say ls minus ls minus lr user share man star, and then I just say pgrep minus I, and then I say get current working directory dot 3 dot gunzip, as well as pwd dot 1 dot gunzip, as well as pwd x and dot 1 dot gunzip. Any of those three show me. Notice that it shows print working directory of executable one, pwd, and then executable, and then get current working directory and all of that. It found those entries there. So the format of this one, if I just say man pwd, notice it's nicer. Okay, man minus s1 pwd, it's nicer. And man minus s3 get current working directory, it's nice looking. And then without the section, automatically give me section 3, right? So now if I just say which Python, and I say Python, and then say import OS, and then os dot get current working directory as a method, then you can see that current working directory here. os dot system, and then say run pwd, it give me the home directory of that one. Exit out of this one, and then I type, exit out of this one, and then I type in pwd, it gets that. So how easy it is to just see it by API calls of Python, using the method invocation of get current working directory from OS module, or just simply type in the pwd command on the operating system. Another example of man section for one and the other one. So if I look for man printf, it's section 1 automatically comes in, because that's the system process. But if I say my man minus s1, that is also forcing it to just print manual pages section 1. However, if I want to do section 3, then it is the system calls of from a standard IO.H, the library. This is like all the functions that you write in C and C++, printf, fprintf, sprintf, all of those ones are defined here under the standard IO.H. So if I want to just do those commands, obviously in the system, I can only do printf statement like this, printf, and then say this is a test, and this is a test, and then put a tab here and say tab, and the new line here, $sign, N, and say a new line, which is going to the next line, and then do that one. But notice that new line went to the next line, and tab is there. If I just do that one and then say send this information to a file, say t.text. Now cat t.text, I just generated those lines, but notice that the information that I showed you with cat e t.text is just showing you there's a tab and there's new line characters, and then this and then that. So you can also do octal dump minus c t.text to get those octal dump of it. This is the line, and then there's a tab, and this is called control /t, and then new line is /n. That's how you interpret it on octal dump. But if I vim t.text on vi, then I say set the list. Notice that those ones are showing tab as control I, and then the non-tab is this. If I say set no list, then I don't see the tab in new line characters. Okay, so I just exit out, and then I don't need that file, rmt.text, delete it and remove it. So every time you remove a file or attach a file, if you just want to create an empty file, you just say attach this, and then this is just coming in, rm disk, and then now the file is done. echo, this is a test, and this is a test, and then you just write that one. And you say, send this one to a file, t.text. Now, the content of it is there. So now if I want to just write this one and also do append it with another command called t-a, t.text. So now I have the file t.text is added. This is a test twice. Now, if I say word count minus l t.text, those are 2 lines. And if I say cat minus n t.text, that file is there twice. Now, if I just want to add another line here with this one, this is test and line 3, and then I just append it. I could also do double greater sign that also appended. So that's t.text. T.text is there. Now I say cat minus n, t.text is there with the appending line 3 there. I could also do, and instead of append with 1 greater sign, and say pipe it and say t, and that one. But this is line 4, so I'm going to add that one. Now, in addition, the t, this OR statement, in addition to echo it, it also write it to that file. That's why you see the screen. So cat minus n t.text now has 4 lines. Actually, minus a, I didn't write the minus a for append. I only wrote it like this to override it. So that was the option. So if I just do this command here, and then copy that one, let's say echo this one, and then make it line 2, 1. Let me just do this one, created 1, then 2, and then double greater sign, and then 3. Double sign. So now cat minus n t.text has line 1, 2, 3, right? So if I want to just add line 4 to it with that t command, and then I could say change this one to line 4, and instead of that double greater sign, I could say or write t. But if I want to just override it, I don't give any option. But if I just want to append it, I say line 4 gets added. Now cat minus n t.text has 4 lines. The difference between minus a and non-minus a that earlier I did, this one overrides it, this one appends it. And this one appends it, this one overrides it. So piping is very important also, that I show you that one on chapter 2 and 3 and 4 maybe. But here I just showed you some of that stuff. So we did cover the echo. Let's do some more on this one. So we echo head, host name, host, and ID. Okay, host name, host, and ID. So let's just right here, you did also already echo. And then host name, head is just the opposite of tail. Head gives you the last 10 lines of a file. So if you want to just only see head, will only show you the first 2 lines of the file head. Like head of it, and then tail is the opposite tail of the file. So if you do not give the number, by default is line 10 numbers. So let me just show you on this example here. Clear screen. Cat minus n etc/os-release has 13 lines. If I want to get head of minus 2 of them, the first 2 lines. If I want to do 5 of them, and there. If I want to just get it by the first, without any argument, 10 of them. Now, if I just do tail of that one, the last 10 lines from there. And if I just say tail minus 2, the last 2 lines. And the last 1 line, tail minus 1. So you get the tail and head. And then you can do manual pages and everything else for it. So this one is covered, head, tail, host. Host and ID, host name and host and ID. So here you could type in host and it will give you the host name. I was on a Unix Solaris at the time when I did this page. So you could see it and you can get the information in PDF form. And then host is also give you the host information of the IP address and everything. There's also a dig command that might be here somewhere. Right here. That also give you the host name and the host information. So you type in these ones, and I'm gonna do these ones quickly on the server side. So here, if I just clear a screen, say host name, you can see my web tutorial. Host ID is also a command that gives you the hash key for the host name that is there. Host CTL is also there, but if you didn't install it, host CTL -A is not there, so I have to do snap install host CTL. And I don't want to install that one, I don't need it, but let's just get the host information. Host name gives you that, and then host itself, if you just type in host -h, it gives you this help, and host that's www.mywebuniversity.com. It tells you that what is the IP address of that one. Host google.com, it will do the IP address of Google. Similarly, dig google.com, and it will tell you the IP address of Google and then all the DNS record name based on the IP address. And then on the server, if you're on that server, you could say IP A for address, and then you will see the IP address that is currently logged on the server and running on this one. And this is the IP address 197 on this one. So, and let's look up www.mywebuniversity.com. My public IP address is global, but on the local, because of etc host file, I have been pointing 27 to point to my public IP address. And through the netstack -rn, I'm getting into this gateway, and from there I find out my DNS names and everything that is on the web hosting company that I supported here. So if I just do ns lookup here, ns lookup -q is equal mx. You could say, show me the mail exchanger record for Google, or show me the mail exchanger for www.mywebuniversity.com. You don't want to give those ones out because sometimes people, they just use that one or SMTP, but I'm not running a mail server. I'm not doing anything, so it's safe in that sense. Ping google.com, it will ping the server there. And then we covered those ones. ID, when you do ID-A, it gives you all users ID -G group name, ID-U for username. But if you wanted an -U give you user. If you wanted ID and -U name and name, ID-group name, you get that one. But if you just want ID by itself, like U or G, you just get the group ID number. And so ID-A gives you everything. Also on the system, you may see some more options here. So I already went through host and ID. So you can click on these ones and practice them. If I provide you the syntax here to practice them, like ID-A will give you everything in there. In this case, since I'm running it from the web server, this is showing the data. And then info is also similar to man pages to give you information on the man pages. So some of the commands may work, some of them are not available. I may have to remove this one there, and then paste is another one. So paste is like cut and pasting two files together, concatenating this file. So here is one file and it's another file, and then you could say paste file 1 to file 2. So if I just want to show you an example of that one and say echo, I'm saying this and this is, and then I'm gonna say send it to a file called file1.txt. Okay, and then echo a test, and then I'm gonna say send this one to file2.txt. Sometimes you have these files, file1.txt, and you have also file2.txt. They are the same numbers, but you don't have option to put them all in one line together, pasted. So you use paste file1.txt, file2.txt, and now as file3.txt. And now cat file3.txt is a combination of the two files as you wish to do that. So paste is that command is there. So if you type in what is paste, it just says merges lines of files. It's a very useful command. You can do that one. And the similar sort command in other ones. So paste, PS is checking for process files. You can check for the process of Apache, for example, and show you this. And then you could also get the manual pages there. So for PS, let me just show you here. If I say PS, and it shows the process, but if I say PS minus AFA, show me everything for all of them, and grep minus I Apache, then I could see it. And the last thing is that I could do is grep minus V, my own grep command. So this last line is not showing up there. And then there. Now, if I want to just look at these processes and then kill these processes, I could do awk with it, say awk $sign print $sign process ID 2. Now I have find out the process ID. And each one of them I could do some other options, but that's chapter 3 and 4. I'm going to do that one. Otherwise, you could say while read var and do echo and $sign var, and then done. So each one of them I just listed again, and instead of echo, I could just say kill minus $9 var if I want to shut them down. There's a lot of tricks that I will show you with Xorg and while reading other ones, but at this time we're going to jump into the next commands. PWD we have covered enough, so you just are going to read it here further. And then uname we already covered mostly. There you can just do it, and if you're on a different machine, like here I'm on a Rocky, let me just go on the Rocky and then type in the password. PWD, what was the command? I forgot. Uname. So you could type in uname-a, it will give you all uname-r for revision, uname-m for machine type, uname-p for platform, uname-o for OS level, uname-o for OS level, and then uname kernel name also give you that, and say uname-h will give you all the option, uname-h, okay, uname-help, and it gives you all the options. You can see here all the options. And then depending on your OS, you will get different version and different things with the uname. The next command that I'm going to cover here is less man make dir and more. Make dir and more, less is the opposite of more. So if you cover more, it just says give me the content of this file, more. And less is one page at a time, and it just does similar to PG, like page. Less is give you one screen at a time. You can also search for some commands there with less within the search here. So for example, you could say clear screen, more etc os dash release. You could say also less etc os dash release. And then notice that on the list os-release, you get the prompt, you could type in search and then say 24, for example, it will just highlight the 24 there. So less is more friendlier than more. It helps you to search for something. And then you could say search for a name, and then you could search all the places that's there. And if you're done, you just type in Q for quit and it will quit out of there. So those are there, and man and other ones, so it's gonna help you there. You name less command, we already did some stuff. Here, if I'm just on the Ubuntu system, you could do ls slash to get the root level, ls slash ben, sben, ls slash ben, and ls minus l this directory. And then if you want to see recursively in this one, ls minus lr. That will just go all the subdirectory under user home wahid there. And then there's a lot of other file control C out of it. Here, if I say attach this and ls minus ltr, notice the file that I attached lately are showing at the bottom because I did ls minus l listed, long listing meaning that show me the ownership, the link, the ownership of the file, the permission of the group and the owner of the group, and also the size of the file and the timestamp of the date that the file created, what's the size of it, and also what's the file name. So, and this one you can also do, like for example, rn this, I did that one. So if I say stat file1.txt, I could get a statistic of when this file was created, was accessed, modified, what is the birth date, and then what's the ownership, user ID, group ID, permissions, all of that one, and what's the sizes it is, the number of inode are there, everything. ls minus li f1 star. So all of them, you can see the inode number for them. And then there's inode number link and then symbolic link, which are not here covered, but I could cover symbolic link. So if I create a symbolic link of a file one and say a link minus s f1.txt, I'm going to just call it f1. So now I say f1 and then f1.txt. The first one, f1.txt, is a regular file. That's why it's a dash. But the f1 itself is a symbolic link. This is representing that this is a pointer to point to this one as an alias or a symbolic link, file one. And this L represents it's a symbolic link. So meaning that if I say cat f1, I also see the content of cat f1 is f1.txt. But if I remove f1.txt, this file means nothing because it's pointing to nothing. So let's say I move the file one, move f1.txt to f1.txt. Now, if I do f1, ls minus l f1 star there, you can see this one is coming red because it's not pointing to anything. This f1.exit doesn't exist anymore. If I say cat f1, it says no such file or directory. But if I move that one f1.txt back to f1.txt, now I do this ls minus l f1 star, you can see now the symbolic link is green, meaning that it is successful. So now if I say cat f1.txt, it says that it is okay. If I say file f1 star, then it says the first one is symbolic link to f1. And f1 is actually ASCII text file. That's how you know the type of files. The header information knows that that's a text. If I do a stat on f1 star, then you see the first one that it says symbolic link, it says here symbolic link. The second one that's a regular, because of this first dash, it's a regular. Here, the first dash is called a L. If it's a directory, if I just say make dir a new dir, now if I do a new dir, it's a directory. You see, it's a D rather than dash. That's a directory. So a stat of new dir, it tells you right here is a D. And then right here it says the type of file is a directory. Okay, so a lot of informations are preserved on the system, and then ls minus li for the new dir, and this is a symbolic link there. It's minus ltr, and then if I say ls minus li new dir, this is going to say this, but I want to just do a d here to also see the directory, and here's the inode number for the directory. So the ls is very friendly, and then you can do a lot of stuff with it, and then ls-cf to see the files, the directories that are there. But you can also do find dot minus type d for directories, just to list the directories there. And then you could say minus type f, regular files. There's a lot of options to say this permission, this ownership, this kind of file that has extension of this. You could just say, for example, find minus name star.txt. Only show me the regular file that are .txt, and then you can just see that one. Or you say show me anything that starts with the character of f, or it just start with the f1, and then that way you could just get a shorter list. But f1 is right there, is defined. These other ones are permission denied because I'm not root. So if I just put a sudo in front of it, what is this one? And you can see here that those are the ones that. And then if I want to read the content of these files, say, well, read var, do say cat minus n $var, and sleep 2 seconds, and then done, and it will just read one file at a time, and then it stops 2 seconds, and then read the next file, and then it's done. And if you just say, well, how about after reading the file, I also do a pipe here, laugh out like that, and then do it. So somehow the pipe is not understood. Let me see, cat minus $7.04. Oh yeah, there's no semicolon here. And then semicolon would be here, and then that would just read it for you, and then does it. And then the echo stuff, just for a fun for it, is you could say echo hello world, and then you could write this one, and then you say exclamation mark, and then at this time I could say, okay, now we use a for statement, for example, and say for I and percentage 1 dot 10. Let me just say, so I'm going to use a for statement here, and I say for this one undo, and then say echo, and then I say $i followed by hello world, and then close it, and then say laugh out loud cat, and done. And notice that how easy it is, friendly there. So right here, you could just run this one. Every time you run, you get a different set of colors. But if you just do at the same time, say, change it to 100, obviously it will just do 100 times. But then you could have within your loop, you have a lot of controls there. You could do with starting at different numbers, or sequence commands here, and then a lot of other options. I start with from 5 to from 2 to, let's say, 20, or 20. If I can type in 20, it's too hard to find 20 on the keyboard. I was looking for 20, dude. I just wanted to make you laugh. Okay, so 029 Al-Khawarizm. You have to know that name. Muhammad ibn Musa Al-Khawarizm. He invented algebra in the 9th century, Persian mathematician and scientist. Now we know algorithm because he said for every computation you do, you have to carry out a defined set of sequence in order to carry out a function or do some computation. And then he did arithmetic or algebra or hisab. Al-Kitab was the name and that he originally created. From that one, he is introduced from the Greek math and Indian math. He introduced 0 through 9, the decimal places that now we have all the numbers, and then addition, subtraction, multiplication, division can be performed as easily as that by placing placeholder. So for 20, don't look for 20 in the keyword, look just for 2 and 0. And similarly for 29, I just don't know how I can make it out. Okay, so let's get back to the topic here. That's how I make it out, if I can. So here, ls is done, man is done, mqdr is done, more is done, page. Page is like similar to less one page at a time. Some system doesn't have it, you can just say alias pg is equal less, and then you do that one. And if it you install it, if it's there available, you can practice it. Ping is we already did the video. Let's look up. Add rm is similar to like add command add and cron jobs allow you to run either at a specific time and date time or a cron job chronological running a function or a program or something like backup. You run it here as a cron jobs. I do for my system. Add rm is removing the job. Add Q to just look at the Q. There's no example here that I could show you on this one, but I give you on that page like how to trace that. Add now plus 1 minute in the file and then run these two commands and do that one. So you can practice those ones. Sort is the sort command and just allow you to sort it. And if you just give a file name and then sort it -f and then sorts it on that index. You can also do sort in reverse with -r and then sort -rm and then other ones rn numbers, reverse in numbers. So you could get that one, and you can see here the file size is the largest one is on the top. If you don't put in reverse, the largest one at the bottom. And then the same thing with ascending order and descending order, you could do that one. And so and then touch, we already did create a file. W and who is just showing you who is logged on the system and what they are doing, like who is logged on right here. You can see I'm logged on and this is my activity at the time. And then who -h is also give you based on the host, the output of the command. And then you're welcome to look at each one of these flags and the who -i. I mean PDF files, and then right here, like for example, let me see, the -i is somewhere here, right? IP address. Display IP address instead of host name. So when you type in -i, it gives you, and then this one no header files. If you just get a hold of it. So right here, if I just type in who is there, but W and gives you the user that will current log, who W -i will just say that IP address. And then here was also showing IP address before. So now say W-H for no header, and then you can see this header information is missing. On the first one it was showing, now -h doesn't show it. Okay, so this is the end of chapter 2, my book, the online, the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, which I have made videos for you in the past, but some people, as soon as they see a video that is a few months old or a few years old, they don't even look at it. which is wrong because it's the same version. Sometimes when they say, oh, you have to upgrade your certificate because you had certified with Solaris or Red Hat or something, version A, and version A was 9, and we are still using it on the production server, but we just introduced version 10, and so you have to do certificate because your certificate expires. That's just nonsense. It is just they want to make more money and they just will get you to certify it with their version, but you're using the same operating system, same kind of applications that you're supporting. The certificate doesn't mean anything if you don't know how those commands, and if you know it, you know it. It's like somebody graduated from college and then all of a sudden they say, oh, and since you graduated 10 years ago, what you learned in C or Python or PowerShell or something, and now it's not the same version or the same OS, and then therefore you have to upgrade your degree. You cannot upgrade your degree. You just have a Bachelor of Science or Master of Science or PhD, you're done. You just have to upgrade on top of features that were added by learning it yourself. They just make money on it. So be careful on that. And then make sure that you use MyWebUniversity for a lot of things. For example, on chapter 3, next that is going to come, I'm going to show you these commands. I showed you this one today. The change mode and other ones, sometimes you cannot run the command on my server because I don't want somebody to hack my server. So I give you like a book documentation here. And that is very useful to know. And then some of the commands that are requiring higher permission. Similarly, for chapter 4, if you're doing it, there's a lot more commands, 88 commands here. For each of these commands, on each row, I have one video here that you can watch that will cover. So, and the last row, 8 of 8, is this one, 8 of 8. And this is 8 rows and 11 columns, so it is 88 commands. So like, for example, PS3, I showed you as an example here. When you look at the PS3 processor stream 3, it says display a tree of processes, and this is a tree of process for system D. If you want more details here, like maybe you could just say plus right here, plus P, and then let's see, yeah, plus, let me just write it on the server first to see what server command is allowed. P3 minus T minus P1. Yeah, so minus T minus P1. So if I just do that one, and then do that, and then you can see minus, so the command is minus T minus P1, but laugh out loud count on the web doesn't mean anything, minus T minus P1. So here I could say PS this minus P, and then plus minus P, and then plus 1. That would give me the output. This one says that the T is the thread, and then minus P process YD1. So for every system D is the process, for every thread or every other process that is forked, I have the thread ID numbers as well. This is how minus T works. So that is there. It's a little bit more output than just minus P option that you just get plus 1, this one, there. And then also I have some of these ones on chapter 15. I showed you that you can practice them online. You can practice them here. So if you're looking for man pages, you could just stay here and say, show me the PWD. You just type in one command and then say man ls command, and every command that you type in, you get manual pages, as if you're sitting in front of a Linux machine. You don't need to install any Linux machine. At the same time, if you say ls-l, the command is valid command, I execute it for you. You say cal for calendar, you get the output cal 290 99, and then you get the February of 1999. Cal 2 of 1998, you get that. Cal 6 2001, and you get that. But at the same time, if you just say rm or let's say ls-l store.cgi, you try to do this one. I'm not allowing it, but maybe if you say rm-rm store.cgi, you say, oh, I cannot remove files here. That sucks. Let me just do this one, pwd, and then run date command. Can I inject with SQL or semicolon? No, you cannot. You could just say echo rm-rf, and then send it to /temp, and then t.sh, and then say bash -x t./temp -t.sh. You just wasted your time. You run these commands, and now I just detected, say, you were trying to hack my website and do this. Or you say, let's add a user add XYZ. I say, no, you cannot add it. Or create a group, something like that. Whatever type you type in, I say, no, this is not going to allow it. Group add, and then I just say, no, you cannot do that. So some of the commands are very, very easy to detect. Some of them are not, but I have done enough to protect the website. It's been up for the last 26 years. And then I made it on 2026, August 5th. So you can see from the copyright here, 2000 to August 5th of 2000. In 26 years, and it's been online, and it's serving the community. Thousands of people, 50,000 or more on a monthly basis, are enjoying these PDF files, technical documentation, and that one. If you're on a Windows or PowerShell, I have stuff for you. I showed you the PowerShell. You can also go to Windows and then learn the Windows command. Like, for example, Control F, make dir. Today I showed you the make dir command. So if you go on the make dir and say, show me the PDF for it, notice that I give credit to Windows as well as PDF version here. So this is the PDF version, but then you say, can you read it for me? You have audio version of it. Yes, I can read it for you. You just click on this, and then if you just click on it,
creates a directory, mkdir, drive, pathmd, drive, path. If command extensions are enabled, mkdir changes as follows. Mkdir creates any intermediate directories in the path. If needed, for example, assume a does not exist, then mkdir a, b, c, d is the same as mkdir a ch dir a mk.
you got the idea. So it just reads it for you, and you're welcome to sit down, relax, and enjoy learning 88 command as fast as you can. And if you did learn it, you can come and practice it on your DOS command prompt. So you just say, get into the command prompt here, and now I'm on DOS system info. So you could see, like here, if I say clear screen, it works, and the help gets all the list of commands. And if I say clear screen help on make dir, it will give you the same things. Help on PWD, it doesn't exist. I have to be in PowerShell. So if I just say here, exit out and say PWD, it works because I'm on PowerShell. Get dash host, it tells me that I'm on the version of PowerShell 5.1. And then if I just say echo $, not echo $, actually I get host PWD was showing, and so get dash help PWD, it will just tell you that get location, get dash location. So alias pwd is parent working directory is pointing to get dash location. So if I say get dash help, get dash location, and then online. Sorry, I must have typed in something. Get dash location. I couldn't see it because Zoom was on top of it. So now get dash help, get dash location online. Sorry. Okay, get dash help, get dash location and location. It gives you that. And then get dash location dash online will open it online. And you just read it online. And then if you just type in get dash location here, it will just give you the get dash location and give you that. If I change the directory to C prompt and say pwd, it says the same thing, get dash location, also give you that. And then what PowerShell, you could say get dash commands, get dash command, and will give you all the list of thousands of commands that are there. I'm not going to cover any PowerShell at this time because this was a Linux server, but I just give you kind of a summary of things that we could teach you if you just subscribe. And that's why it is a good idea to just also push the notification button and make sure that you get informed whenever I post these videos. And there's a lot going to come. If you haven't subscribed to MyWebUniversity, please subscribe and join to our channel, and then show your support. That way I can do this one for people that they cannot afford it to go to expensive college tuition or expensive boot camps. And that was my goal, and it was written on this description for years, and I'm doing that one for at least 3 or 4 years now. God bless you all. Take care, have fun, and enjoy your life. And love and peace to all. Take care. Bye-bye.